What's going on, everybody? Josh, starterraingutterbusiness.com. Today we're heading out to the middle of nowhere to put up some rain gutters for a buddy on his cabin. And it's a ways away, normally like farther than I would normally drive, but we figured you could bring you guys along today and show you how I deal with this type of job. So it's 2.5 hours from the shop. It's like in the middle of nowhere. I was surprised they had power there. So kind of cool. We'll just show you guys some of the scenery on the way there. We're like kind of in the central Montana area. We're just doing 5-inch K-style, driving the Ford Transit. We are doing some 3x4 downspout. And yeah, figure we'd bring you guys along, show you some scenery, and hope you guys can enjoy the trip with us. So last night, to kind of prepare for this, like I said, this is in the middle of nowhere. I cannot find this road on Google, so we're off to a bad start. I called him last night, and I was like, hey man, how do I get to this place? And so he's like, we're going to, like, kind of through Lewistown, Montana, and I mean that's already in the middle of nowhere. And I've only been to Lewistown like a couple times. Barely any people there. We'll tell you the population here when we go through it. I can't remember what it is. Pretty small town though. So it's like secondary highways all the way. Nobody around. So he gives me this list of instructions, and we're gonna see how this goes. I'm a little worried about our arrival time, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know now. We're going over some little pass, turning left on gravel road, and then turn right at the Gray Cow. I think we're getting close. We made it. Journey was successful. So, pretty cool place. This is for a friend, so I bid it off pictures, and he's fine with some price fluctuation, but this place is way bigger in person than it looked like in the pictures, so that's one thing to note. I did bring extra material, so we should be good with everything. But, so yeah, I'll show you what we're doing. We got 3 gutters to do total. One's a longer stretch, and then 2 other kind of shed roofs. So we got this guy coming across. Probably just do AAB on it. And then that longer stretch right there with a downspout on the other end. They're having drainage issues with all this water coming from the hill and just in this area. So get all that water out the far end. All right, so our first stretch we're getting to here. This is about 80 feet. And I didn't bring any snap lock. So what we're gonna do is kind of just a redneck expansion joint. So I thought about the best way to do this. Yeah, we could put it up on 80 feet. It's probably gonna buckle at some point, you know, and so I'd rather just have a sleeve joint to where it can move around a little bit. So I'll do 2 40-ish footers. We already have this little shed roof here that they're not worried about the drainage on. So I'm just gonna put my joint above this. That way, if it's probably gonna leak in the future at some point, obviously. So that way, if it leaks a little bit, not a big deal. It'll just run off this little shed roof. But we're gonna be always getting the majority of the water to the downspout. So it's kind of how I'm thinking through this. We're a long ways away, so I'm just making do with what we got. And yeah, so we'll do 40-foot stretch here. Expansion joint, I'll probably overlap a little more than normal, just so it never can like pull apart, separate from each other or anything. That way, and I'll also overlap it to where, kind of like a plumber's, like how you put plumbing together. I'll put the, this feeding into the downspout gutter. That way, even if there was no sealant, it would still, the majority of the water would still go that way. So let's get her done. All right, so one thing I look for on these standing seam roofs, especially this one, is they didn't hem this very well. So what it does is pretty much acts like a hood screen or gutter helmet or whatever. And the water follows that roofing around instead of them hemming it back all the way, like crimping it. They just kind of ran it loosely down, and then so what that water does is follow this, goes down the drip edge, and then it whips around this hem and then tries to go down the back of the gutter. So if I'm ever not sure about what water's going to do, a super easy way to do it is just to sprinkle some water on there. So you can see how wet the drip edge is just from a tiny bit of water. Like pretty much almost the majority of the water is running down the drip edge. It's pretty impressive. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I'm hanging this. I got to make sure and get it at least ½ inch under this drip edge. So I'm probably going to have to undo all these screws. Yay for me. Gutter number 1, 45 feet. So this gutter machine's not even tuned that well, and you should be able to easily hold the 45 footer with one hand. Just to give you guys an idea of machine adjustment. Hey, thanks for making it this far in the video. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Make sure and like, subscribe. That really helps our channel grow and helps us get a little motivation to make more videos for you guys. So also just to let you know, we've been having a lot of questions about business related things, and we have kind of all those thoughts organized into a new course for you guys. So make sure and check our course out, starterraingutterbusiness.com. We'll have a link below in the description. Thanks for watching. Some good steel fascia to go through. It always helps make the day feel longer. Okay, same as my standard. I'm just gonna level this gutter, so tack it in the center, tack both ends, level it off. Then I'll get my next measurement for my next gutter. Just level them both individually. I'm gonna go to do a 2-inch overlap on this. And how I like to do that is this gutter is gonna be coming in, scooping the water kind of up from this gutter. This gutter has no downspout, that one does. So I'll overlap it on the bottom. And then I like to trim this top edge, I cut the top and then kind of wedge shape this front part. That way when I sleeve this part in, it can kind of ramp up this wedge and it slides tight and tightens everything up. So it helps give a better final look to everything. Another thing I'm doing on this gutter that causes some confusion sometimes is like my hanger placement. So this is a longer gutter than I would normally run to one downspout. So I wanted to get that end up a little higher than normal. So I'm at least 1 inch high over there, higher than like my center. So what I'm doing over there is my hangers can't go up high enough in the back to, like if I put a screw through them, that screw will be through this, like, you know, close to the center of the back of the gutter. And I don't want the back of the gutter to be compromised that low. So what I'm doing on that end is moving the hangers up and over and going on top of the drip edge and then clamping it through that way. And then as I get lower here, I transition to under the drip edge, and I'm just sliding them up to the drip edge and then screwing with a roofing screw through the drip edge. And then the rest of this will be hung normally, and I'll probably not even screw through the drip edge, just right below the drip edge. So, which is how I would normally recommend to do it. Try not to screw into the drip edge if you can help it. Okay, so this is my redneck expansion joint. So it'll work fine. I'm gonna try to just scoop this into this other one. It's probably gonna be kind of difficult, but since this isn't something I'd normally do, I just put a bead of sealant in between the 2 layers of metal. That way it's protected from the sun, and when you can bond those 2 layers together instead of just glue on the outside, it's always stronger. So figured I'd throw some of that in there before I got started, and I'll see if I can get it in here. Oh yeah, that wasn't too bad. And like I was saying, I tried to slide it in from this end, but this gutter was pretty long, so this ended up being 95 feet total. So we got like a 40 something footer and then a 50 footer. There it is. Another thing I like to do is if I do 2 pieces of gutter like this is get the hangers, get it all kind of leveled and screwed off, and then the hangers set, then tack the front together. So I kind of, if I screw it right now with all the hangers loose, it could be tipped a little bit one way or the other. So then if you go down to the end and look down this seam, the seam will look like kinked. So if you put the hangers in ahead of time with the back leveled, then put your face screws in, it helps everything line up a little straighter, makes it look nicer as an end result. We made it back to pavement. Job's done, sun's setting. It's a good day. One thing I wanted to mention, these jobs that are a ways away, it's always so much simpler to order a little bit extra material. Like I said, I normally don't bid off pictures, but this one I did, and I underbid the gutter and downspout by like 30 feet on each one. So, I mean, I talked to the customer about this, they're fine with the price difference, but if I would have been, ran 10 feet short on downspout and then had to deal with that, either gave it to him to put on or whatever, because I couldn't drive back clear to this place to just put on one stick of downspout, obviously. But it's always a good idea just to order a little extra material and have it with you. So helps a lot on jobs that are a ways away. So just wanted to say that. Got a little drive home here, so thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the adventure. We're gonna hit the road.